Turning off assist can be challenging, however doing so will make you quicker and give you a sense of accomplishment. ABS is one of the assists that people tend to find the easiest to turn off, and that was until Codemasters tweaked how locking up works in the F1 games. Locking up costs you a lot more before making trail braking ever more critical. That's why in this video I'll be focusing on teaching you guys how to trail brake instead of making an overall ABS video for F1 22. So let's get straight into this. And I'd like to thank everybody who's on the screen right now for being channel members. If you do want to support the content past just liking and subscribing, make sure to click the join button underneath the video to learn more. Now, usually you would trail brake into any corner. However, since hairpins and tight chicanes are the heaviest braking zones, it'd probably be best for me to use those as quick examples. So heading into turn 1 at Zandvoort, we have all the tools that we need to make this corner. We have the correct line to take through the corner, we have the braking point, and our exit line all figured out. But the braking point is the most important part here, as we make up the most time under braking. So as we reach the braking point, we slam on the brakes and keep our car pointing in a straight line. This is because F1 cars aren't very good at multitasking. If you brake and turn without the anti-lock braking system, aka ABS, you will lock up and miss apex, losing a whole bunch of time. By keeping the car in a straight line, the tires will use all of its grip to slow the car down, and as we reach the turning point, we can start to bleed off of brakes. Taking a look at my input data thanks to RaceNet, you can see exactly how I bleed off the brakes going into turn 1. You can also see by the data that the more that we are turning the car, the less we are braking. However, we are still braking. By keeping our foot on the brakes as we bleed off going into the corner, the nose of the car is kept pointing towards the ground, giving us more downforce in the middle of the corner where we need it most. If you lift off the brakes too harshly, then the nose of the car will lift up, and this will cause you to understeer, losing time in the middle of the corner. This is crucial because it means that you will need to wait longer to get on the throttle again, and you will lose all of that time all the way down to the next braking zone. Taking a look at the fast chicane at Paul Ricard, you can see that once again, we are using all the brakes to slow down the car in a straight line, and then we bleed off the brakes as we're entering corner. Comparing my data to Tormund's on RaceNet, you can see that my trail braking is a lot more smooth and starts a lot earlier than his. What this means in the real world is that since he bled off the brakes too harshly, he understeered into the corner and was in a less optimal line going into the second part of the chicane, meaning he had to use more of his brakes to slow down the car and lost time on the exit. Now, France is not a track that has a lot of heavy braking zones, and there are quite a few tracks like that. So how does trail braking work for faster corners, for example? Well, taking a look at turn 11, you can see that Tormund brakes a little harder but bleeds off the brakes much harsher. This allows him to gain an initial advantage as he rolls the car through the corner and carries more speed. However, once we get to the exit of the corner, you can see that he has to go back on the brakes a little bit to hit the apex, and by that point, I've already gotten on the throttle so much earlier than he did. And that's why learning this technique is crucial to improving your lap times and beating your competition. Now, the next step is to go out there and put it into practice. Obviously, I can tell you guys all the tips and tricks in the book. However, if you don't practice them, then it's really not going to mean much. You're not going to be able to magically do all the things that I've told you in this video just by watching it. So that's why practice is super important, because it allows you to build up that muscle memory. And that's why I recommend checking out my playlist of track guides, which you could probably see anywhere on the screen right about now. I also have a video going into how to stop spinning without traction control, because that's also super important. So make sure to check that out as well. Again, it should be somewhere on the screen right now. So yeah, make sure to smash the like button on this video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.